What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now, today we've got the SHUBMAN GILL interviewed by the one and only The Grade Cricketer, the greatest podcast in Australia, the greatest cricket podcast in Australia, the best cricket YouTubers in Australia. Look, I'll take a back seat. I'll say that it's not me. I'll say that it's these boys right here. Because, I mean, have a look at them. Of course, it's going to be them. But hey, if you guys are new, subscribe to the channel. We're on the way to 4,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. But hey, if you guys are not willing to sit here for a full 26 minutes with me, get out. Clear off the video. Because we are here. We are going to sit down. We're going to watch. I've had this request a lot. So people want to see me react to it. I've been waiting a few weeks since it's been out to react to it. And I was just waiting till I had a good 26 minutes just here. Just to kind of sit down, watch it, give my reaction. So hey, let's not waste any more fucking time. Let's check it out. Let's go.
Cricketer on YouTube. If you're joining us for the first time, hello.
Hold on. Last pause of the video. 0 tests, 0 ODIs.
Warmest of welcomes, and just stick with it. That's all I'd say. It's a special day for us as we prepare to welcome our latest guest onto the show.
It's a big one.
And we do so thanks to ACO, a company where basically two guys called us after what happened at the Gabba and said, we'd like to support you continuing to talk about your sadness about the Asian century.
Cheers.
And we said, okay, sure, that's fine, as we wiped away a solitary tear. Which brings us to today. We are talking to a superstar, not just of Indian cricket, but of world cricket. Obviously, that's bittersweet for us because he destroyed our country's sense of safety about 6 months ago at the Gabba, and we'll ask him about that, him and his naked bat. He joins us from England, where he's preparing for a little something called the World Test Championship Final. I don't know what that is because of overrates or something.
Yeah.
But
Wouldn't know.
Nevertheless, it's such a pleasure to welcome SHUBMAN GILL. SHUBMAN, welcome to the Grade Cricketer, brother.
Welcome, Shubby.
Thank you. Pleasure, guys. How are you doing?
We're doing very well, thank you. That's very kind. No one ever asks
No one
us
ever asks that back.
how we're going.
Yeah.
But
I was good in January.
oh yeah, I was going. Felt really good until you came along. Frankly,
Woo!
this must be a very big moment for you talking to us. The first question is, do you have a clue who we are at all?
It's actually a very big moment for me, actually. I'm talking to someone for the first time, who's on a podcast. I think you guys are on a podcast or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Pretty big moment for me.
Yeah, it's a different world, man. The podcast world. SHUBMAN, we got a bit of time to chat with you, so we'll ease into it. We'll start. I want to start from the beginning. You grew up in Punjab. I'm telling you things you already know. You had a bat in your hand at age 3. Some might say that's starting a little late in India. All great Indian players seem to have grown up with a special way of learning how to play cricket, Like Bumrah was bowling Yorkers inside, hitting the edge between the wall and the floor, so no sound was made, so as to not annoy his mum. We talked to Robin Uthappa, who played cricket with the classic swinging ball in sock. What are your memories of playing cricket as a kid, and did you do anything unique to become especially skillful?
So, I think when I first started playing cricket, there were I didn't have anybody to throw balls to me. So I used to hit on the wall and the ball used to come back to me. So I used to try to keep the streak going on. So I used to keep it for 50, 60 balls continuously, just so that the streak could go on. So that's how I basically started playing cricket. And then my dad saw me one day and then he thought, it's pretty cool for a 3 or 4-year-old kid to keep continuously doing that. So that's when he actually thought, okay, he might be good in this, and that's when we actually started practicing and having fun.
True.
So I know your dad's sort of been your coach your entire life, SHUBMAN, but have you had any other coach at any point? And how does your dad deal with Ravi Shastri?
No, actually, I don't really had any coach other than my dad, not any primary coach, but in the under 16s and under 14s, we used to have state coaches and stuff like that. But my dad has been my primary coach throughout.
We love that.
SHUBMAN, one thing that happens in Australia is that when you're sort of 13, 14, 15 years old, we play all these competitions where quite often you have to retire when you're on 50 so that everybody else gets a go. And then we get all these stories from India about these kids coming through who are scoring double hundreds, triple hundreds, and you were no different. The guys were getting 1,000 and stuff. I think that you made.
Yeah, that is fucked up. Seriously, last pause of the video. I've heard a story from India that this guy, he was 15 and he made 980 runs or something in an under 15s match. Like, that's that's fucked up. Like, we have to retire on 50. I mean, I never made it to 50, if I'm going to be dead honest, but still. I still had, dreams and aspirations.
The number in front of me, but you made some score of sort of a double hundred or a triple hundred when you were 13. Were you upset that you didn't go on to hit 500 or 1,000 in that game?
Must have been.
No, actually, I made in our under 16 districts, that's like a pretty competitive cricket. So the players don't usually retire after, getting a 50 or 100. They keep on playing because obviously they want their team to win. It's a 3-day matches, like a 90-over game. So I made a 350 in one game, and then I made a 400.
What?
But yeah, players in India, they don't I don't think any batsman likes to retire after getting a 50 or after getting 100.
Did you just, just those...
He made 400.
With those innings, did you just sort of throw it away at the end? Were you disappointed or?
No, actually, I was not out when I made a 400.
Yeah.
I was very sad when I got out on 350, to be honest.
Yeah. Pretty flat.
What do you, like,
You
what do you throw your kit
I
or you
thought I
yell out?
went on for a little bit longer.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Do you remember those innings really well? Were they perfect innings, or was there like a close LBW shout, before you were 20, were any drop catches? Did someone drop Shubman Gill on 0?
I got like a couple of chances, so I wanted to make sure, I get my full batting because I got some chances.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Unfortunately, you couldn't. Shubman, let's talk about the Under-19 World Cup. There's been some media recently via Rahul Dravid about just how important the Under-19's kind of incubation system is in India. You scored 372 runs in the 2018 Under-19 World Cup, including 102 not out against Pakistan, and it prompted Dada himself. I've got a few questions about Dada. Saurav Ganguly saying he saw a bit, referring to you, he saw a bit of Brian Lara and Kane Williamson in you. How much confidence does it give you to know that Dada thought this about you?
I mean, obviously, as a youngster, that's all you want, people who you have looked up to, people like Saurav Ganguly, people like Rahul Dravid giving you confidence. And that's basically what every youngster wants. And obviously, when you hear compliments like that from such great players, that obviously boosts your confidence, and you are furthermore motivated to do well whenever you get a chance for the country or for the India or domestic, whatever you play.
Everyone's been heaping praise on Rahul Dravid, for sort of bringing through this young generation of people, including yourself and Washington Sundar and all these guys that are going to dominate cricket for years. So what's Rahul Dravid like as a coach, and does he get as angry as he did in that cred ad?
No, honestly, like that side of Rahul sir, I've never I don't think anyone has ever seen that side of Rahul sir. But yeah, he's that kind of a coach who doesn't like to tweak much in players. He's not that kind of a coach who would go on to the player and say, okay, improve this on your technique or do this or do that. He's the kind of a coach who would more focus on the mental aspect of life, tactical aspect. How can you approach your game? How can you be mentally tougher when you are in a tough situation? So that's how he helps, to be honest. Like, people would think because he was so technically solid, like he would, tell, he'd be telling the players lots of technical stuff, but he works on more the tactical and the mindset of players.
That's huge.
Do you have a preference in terms of what you like from coaches? And because I know in Australia we have a lot of coaches around who love yelling at guys or telling them to change how you hold your bat or whatever. We've heard stories about test players being told to change their grips.
Peter Handscomb was told to change his whole fucking stance. And now he can't get in the back in the side.
For a Boxing Day test and stuff like that. Like, do you have a preference of the sort of coaching you like at this stage of your career?
Not to get yelled at.
I mean, honestly, I've not been told a major technical change in my game. Like, for a long, long time, I can't remember someone telling me, to change a major thing in my batting for the last 2-3 years.
Because you're very
so
good.
I think the way they coach here I think it's a little bit different, because you would the players, they play so much of cricket and they've been playing for so long. It's a little bit difficult for them if you ask them to change their grip or to make a huge technical change. So the coaches tend to make changes that would be more of tactical, or the technique that they have. They'll try to strengthen the players around that technique rather than to change the whole
the
thing,
whole thing.
and to start from scratch.
So when you say no one has wanted to make technical changes, you didn't read Brad Hogg's comments about you saying, I love him, but there's just one area on attack.
He's just a bit out
Spain,
here.
just a bit out here. That you didn't read that piece in timesnownews.com?
I definitely haven't done.
What about okay, hypothetical, Shubman, hypothetical, Rahul Dravid, he comes up to you at training and he gets in you and he says, Shubman, maybe just try this, and then you go and tell your dad and your dad's like, no, do the opposite. Who do you choose?
Yeah.
To be honest, I would just listen. I wouldn't listen to either of these two. I would just listen to myself and think, like, what do I want to do? Do I want to do that, or I don't want to do it?
Love that.
Yeah.
That was the secret third option, and that was a test and you passed.
Because at the end of the day, when you get out, the only person that will be regretting the most is yourself.
Exactly.
You'll be thinking, like, why did I listen to them when I could have just got out doing my thing? At least I wouldn't have had anyone to blame it to.
True.
Yeah.
So,
See, that's the difference, because I always like to blame other people when I got out.
Exactly.
So that's where we differ.
That's why you played threes.
Very true.
Were you aware, Shubman, coming through the ranks, before we want to get into talking about your time in Australia and what you did to us, but were you aware of how much competition there was from other Indian kids to get to the top? I mean, everything I read about you is that you almost seem to be the anointed one, and I actually can't imagine what that must be like to be coming through the ranks and to wonder whether you're the best out of every kid in India. And I know you'll be humble about that and say, well, you got a long way to go and whatever, but how aware of that were you, or did you just play and enjoy the game?
honestly, like, I think I wasn't aware at all. It's just that when you keep playing, you just want to perform at the place that you're in. You don't think too far ahead. Okay, I have to, perform here, then I'll maybe get selected there, and then I'll have to perform there, and then maybe I'll get selected further ahead. I wasn't thinking like that at all. It was just that whatever I was playing at that particular time, I just wanted to do my best there. And then obviously when you're like, I think that's why it's so important to be in the present and not think too far ahead of yourself.
Very true.
And I think if you, like, when you think too far ahead of yourself, you tend to get a bit desperate, and the things. Then I feel like when you get a little desperate, the things kind of start slipping out of your hands, rather than if you just try to let things come to you and just keep doing your thing.
That is a great life lesson. Everyone should be listening to that, because I do the exact same. I think too far ahead in the future. I think what I've got to do from 2 years, what everything's going to be like in 2 years. Just focus on the present, what you can do now. Very smart stuff.
A question about sort of superstitions, Shubman. I mean, I've noticed in your 13 test innings so far, you've only faced the first ball once,
Really?
and you got a duck. So I'm guessing you're never going to do that again.
Yeah.
Is that like, how does that work out when you're walking out to bat with Rohit? Is he just like, get out of the way, youngster? Or do you say to him, you take the first ball?
Take the first one, bro.
So I remember in my debut, Mayank was kind enough. He said, "Okay, I know you're under pressure. You're making your debut, so I'll take the strike. It's okay."
Goodbye.
But he was and he took the strike in that match, in both the innings. And then in the next match, I was supposed to take the strike, but Mayank didn't play. Rohit Bhai played. So I was like, okay. So Rohit himself said, like, okay, I know you're the youngster, it's okay, I'll take the strike. And then from there on, he was taking the strike until that match against England.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said to him, I'll take the strike in this one. I don't know why I said it, but then obviously it didn't work for me. I got out on the third or fourth ball on a duck. But yeah, that won't be happening again, I think, soon.
When you guys, I've opened the batting as well. We're both the same.
Yeah,
but when do you actually work that out? Like, is it when you're getting your kit on in the change room? Is it when you're walking out to bat? Like, do you feel like it's an awkward conversation you've got to have, like a girl on a date or something?
Yeah.
Like,
Are you both running to the non-strikers in?
Yeah. Where does it happen?
It's pretty like, it can happen anytime. Like, once I remember we were walking, like we were almost in the middle, and we were tapping the crease, and then I asked her, "Can you please take this?" Because the bowler was going, I think it was, so Mitch was going on his run up, and I was trying to go on the non-strike runs. Where's the non-strike run? And then so it's like, can you please take the strike?
You said Mitch, which game was that?
Yeah, it was. I think in the first innings in the Gabba test.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what-
That makes sense. Have you also got a red hanky in your pocket? You bat with a red hanky as well? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Is that a tribute to Steve Waugh? Steve Waugh had one of those as well.
It's I don't think it's a superstition, to be honest, but it's like when we first started playing, we have like red ball cricket. Most of our age group cricket is red ball. We don't really have white ball cricket until the under-19 World Cups and stuff like that. So when we first started playing with white ball, that's when you tend to wear the colored kit. Otherwise, you can't carry a red handkerchief in a red ball game, because the umpire obviously won't let you wear it on top of your trouser.
Really?
So I don't know why, for some reason I like the color red, so I started wearing that red handkerchief. And then obviously when you like score, if you do well, you score runs, you tend to go with whatever you're doing at that moment. So that's one thing that kind of stuck with me, and I keep it with me all the time.
I like that.
Well, on behalf of Higgos, I'm not sure the rest of Australia, but I would like to acknowledge how excellently you played in Australia over the summer. We're still kind of getting over it. To be honest, like as Australians, when there's a young batsman who comes to the crease and we've never really heard of him because we just live in our own bubble in Australia, as a nation, we expect to eat them for dinner.
Yeah.
You know, we just who is this bloke? Never heard of him. Someone's going to bump him or nick him off. Doesn't matter. See you later. Let's get the other guys in. Rough him up. Instead, you looked just completely comfortable. Were you surprised at how well you went in Australia, or did you actually expect it?
Honestly, the first over that I faced off back Cummins, it was like I don't think I even touched one ball off the bat. It was like, and I remember when we were going in the crease, one of our bowlers told me, okay, the wicket is slow. It's coming a bit of spongy. It's a bit slow. Like you'll manage it. And the first or maybe the second ball, I get beaten and I hear the noise from the keeping gloves of Tim Paine's, the ball. It's like, tuck. And I'm like, what? Somebody said the wicket was slow, but it was like flying off the wicket. And I couldn't get ball on my bat in the first over, and then the second over I played one ball, and then I was like okay, now I can go on from it. But yeah, the first over was like, it was really like I was trying just so hard to get the ball on the bat, but I could.
This is a very Australian kind of question, because we like to concern ourselves with things that are sort of around the game but not actually the game. So I guess what I want to know is, like, what were they saying to you out there? And I know at one point, I think Cummo said he was going to bump you some point in the series, but like, what kind of chat did you get? And I'm not talking about the Tim Paine, Ravi Ashwin stuff or whatever. Like, what sort of talk was there towards you specifically?
So me and Paddy, we were there in the KKR.
Oh, I was just about to say, they both play for Kolkata, so of course they would know each other. Yeah.
We were like teammates there, and we have a pretty good bond. And when we were there, I remember he gave an interview or something to the KKR management, saying that, we'll have the chin music going on or something like that. And then when I was batting, he was continuously, like trying to bounce me, and I was leaving one. I was like continuously leaving one. And then after the match or something, there was like a press conference, and I said, if they have their chin music going on, we know the moves to dance to that. So yeah, the banter was going on pretty well there. When I said that, he was like, "Oh, where are your dance moves now? Where are your dance moves now?"
Well, perhaps some of the best sledding actually came off the field from your dad, actually, after you got 91 at the Gabba. And your dad was quoted as saying, a century would have been good for his confidence. He was playing so well, and I don't know why all of a sudden he played away from his body. When you heard this, did you go home and ask your dad, how many test centuries have you got?
Then to be honest, like, I also thought that was a pretty shit shot to be played at 90. And I really wanted to score a century and see my team through. So I was honestly really, really disappointed at the way I got out. But yeah, other than that, like, yeah, he also told me the same thing, you should have got a century. I know I was pretty disappointed. I can see he's also disappointed, but the good thing was we won the test match, so everything was set to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we would have drawn or lost the match, then, it would have been even more devastating.
Yeah.
Just on that, Shubman, and I want to refer to your dad as well and what he said, but in a different way. So you make your debut on Boxing Day. You're taking on Stark, Hazelwood and Cummins.
Wait, did he really? I thought he made his debut on. Oh, it was, yeah, what, yeah. What?
You make 45, 35 not out, then 50 and 31 in Sydney. Miss out on the first innings at the Gabba, then make 91 in one of the all-time great victories. The performance has wounded our national spirit. But I don't think it was because of the runs, it was because of the way it happened. And what I mean is, like, not only do you make 91 and Washi makes 80 runs across both innings and takes 4 far.
Don't remind me, seriously.
And kills our dreams. But then both of your dads react by saying they should have scored hundreds. So you've won against the odds and the dads aren't happy yet. So, and I think that's the bit where Australians go, wait, they've beaten us, but their parents think they could have done better. How scared should Australians be about how good India can get if they're not even happy at the moment?
Seriously.
I'm honestly not sure, like, how to answer that question. But yeah, like, as youngsters, when we grow up, that's how we tend to play our cricket, or that's how we like to play our cricket. We like to finish the jobs, you know. As a batsman, there's no better feeling to finishing a job for the team. And like, as my dad is my coach, so obviously that's a great set of satisfaction and enjoyment for him as well if I'm able to do that. And I think that's pretty much all he meant.
How does that's cold-blooded, Shubman. Jesus. How does the team feel about Washington Sundar's dog Gabba?
I mean, like, I think we were 6 down for 190 or 200 and odd, and that partnership, that Washington's and Shardul's partnership, that was gold for us. Like, and the way
I still can't believe that shit happened. Washington Sundar came out and I thought, we're gonna win. We are seriously gonna win. There is no way this Sundar bloke is gonna make another fucking 80 plus. And then he did.
The way that they played and the way that they, you know, dominated, it was so exciting.
Still
and it was
upsets
so
me.
the knock was that partnership was so adventurous for us to, you know, to witness it from outside. And I remember everyone was just so happy about it, that, you know, we have a chance to make a comeback in this game if we bowl well in the third innings of the game. So everyone was pretty excited.
Yeah.
And so obviously at the end of the game, after such a great game that Washington played, he declared to the team, I will name my dog Gabba.
I also didn't know about that until I saw like a Instagram post or something where, you know, you get those reports like he's gonna name his dog, but I'm not pretty sure even like if he did that or not.
Can you take us into the change room, if possible, of where things are about to swing into India's favour at the Gabba, and you're on the brink of an all-time great victory? Talk to me about Ajinkya Rahane's vibe, because I'm seeing him on the camera. He looks ice cold. I mean, we think it's a mafioso thing. Like I would not mess with Ajinkya Rahane.
No.
Yeah, he seems like a cool dude.
Yeah.
But underneath, surely, like, you're afraid of him or something. Like, what's Rahane saying as things are starting to move in your favour?
I think Ajuba is one of the, you know, the coolest person you ever met. He's so calm. He's so like poised all the time. And as the match was coming closer to us, I remember Rishabh played a scoop to Nathan, and we weren't at a great position at that time. And Rishabh was just, you know, playing the way he does. And I remember every time he would play a shot, somebody in the dressing room would go, "Shh." Like if he gets out now, like we'll be like, you know, pretty much gone. But, our tailenders, they're like not that good, because Natarajan, he didn't play a single ball in the nets the whole series. The whole series he didn't bat for a single ball, and he had to face Mitch Stark, Pat Cummins, and Hazelwood.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we knew that the guys in there would have to, you know, finish the job. Otherwise, like...
Great. Now, the fact that Natarajan didn't even face a fucking ball prior just makes me feel a little bit more hurt inside. So, thanks for that one, Shilby. That's great.
there won't be any draw. Either we'll lose or we'll win.
Oh my God! So we were close.
We were really close. Yeah.
Can you tell us about your coming home after that series?
Must have been huge.
Were you offered to cut a kangaroo cake like a Jinko was, or what was going on when you
They
got
cut
home?
a
at the
kangaroo
airport?
cake?
We were told to stay in houses because we had like COVID restrictions going on. But yeah, I was pretty sure I'm gonna stay in the house, not go anywhere else. And then I see on my Instagram, Natarajan is having a festival where he goes. Ajinkya is also, having all that crowd around him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, man, I'm the only one not celebrating this.
Hey, Shubman, when England came to India earlier this year, many people in England felt that the huge spinning wickets just weren't cricket because they were too heavily skewed to favour India's bowlers, I think. That was what it was. So with that in mind, what sort of wickets are you expecting when you play them in England? And do you think they'll be arranged so as to advantage England's seam attack?
I think both our teams have a pretty good seam attack, so they might work against them. So, whatever the wickets they'll have, it will be the same for both the teams. And I think our the whole Indian batting and bowling attack is balanced enough to handle any sort of wickets.
Exactly.
England are rotating a lot of their bowlers at the moment, trying to get the right combinations and stuff. Are you expecting them to settle on one attack during the series with you guys? And who's their most dangerous bowler in your...
Well, just quick, they have to go with, Jimmy Anderson, Stuart Broad, and I've forgotten their other bowlers. Jimmy Anderson, Stuart Broad. Who the fuck else plays for England? I just woke up, don't believe me.
I think the combination of Anderson and Broad is, I think that sets them pretty well.
Yeah.
Because both of them are they're different kind of bowlers, and I think they will stick with these two, and then whosoever would be the third bowler or the fourth bowler, as an all-rounder of Chris Wokes or...
Chris Wokes, and then of course Ben Stokes.
Ben Stokes.
Hashtag F Ben Stokes in the comments.
I don't think Archer would be available for the
Jofra?
for the series, but let's see. But I think they'll stick to these two, and then the third seamer would keep rotating as the series goes through.
In that home series, Shubman, I mean, how funny was it watching Axar Patel just destroy every English batsman? Was that enjoyable? It must have been so good.
Yeah, it was really he's been with me for quite a long time. We have had so many India A series together, and it was just so fun watching him do so good in the Test cricket. And he was always bound to do that, because I have seen him going through playing some great cricket over the time, but just not getting the chance, just not able to play for India for some certain circumstances. I remember he got a chance once. He got injured. He was the 12th man. He went into field and you got injured. How sad is that? You're not even playing the game, but you get injured fielding for the 12th man. But it was pretty great to see someone like him doing so well.
Shubman Gill, thanks so much for taking, I think, what must have been about 37 questions from two guys you've got no idea who they are or whether you'll ever see them again. But, mate, really appreciate your time. It's late in the UK. You've been very generous with us. Wishing you all the best for the final, for the India series, everything beyond. Thank you for destroying our country earlier this year. And I'm sure we'll see you again, mate. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure.
Hey, that is going to cap it off, guys. Wowee. That was a pretty special interview. I'm so glad I've finally gotten around to react to it, because you just fucking never get this insight. When it's like a post-match press conference, they're always asked the same shitty questions, but then you get the grade cricketer who will ask good questions, they'll ask funny questions, and they genuinely want to know. They want... Okay, how do I put this? They take the piss, which is what I want, and what I do, but they also ask questions that you're very curious about, and they generally get a bond with the player that feels comfortable talking to them. And you learn more about the person instead of just a shitty press match, fucking post-match interview where they just go, yep, batted well, yep, bowling, yep, it's very good, yep, fielded well, yep, good win. But when you get to grade cricketer, They will ask good, solid questions like it's a friendship. So, hey, that is going to cap it off, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.